Hey guys, welcome to Double Shot of Steelers. My name is Chris Halleck, filling in for DK again. DK is traveling from Minnesota after a Penguins win over the Wild to Winnipeg to take on the actual Jets, not the other Jets, but the actual Jets tomorrow night. So in the meantime, you're stuck with me, and I did promise that I was going to wear my Halloween costume today, and that's the reason why we're late, because it took so long for me to put it on. So I'll just go ahead and show it to you. I am Steve from Minecraft, the Minecraft movie. See, I'm Steve. That's my costume. I told you guys it was going to be very underwhelming. All right, so let's move on to actual football talk. So the Steelers' final day in preparation for the Colts. Let's go over the injury report real quick just to make sure that we know who's playing, who's not. The good thing is no injury designations for Isaac Seumalo or Zach Frazier. That is obviously very, very good. And I already knew, just really quick, Mr. CJ Jr. Boo. That's it. I told you guys it was going to be very underwhelming. But injury designations: Scotty Miller out with the finger. Corey Trice with a new knee injury that popped up is ruled out. Jabril Peppers with a quad injury is out, so he is not an option in the secondary. Questionable players are Will Howard, who's trying to come back from IR, Chuck Clark, who popped up on Friday's injury report as a DNP, which means did not practice with an illness. So we'll see how that goes over the weekend. And let's see, two more. Malik Harrison is also questionable, trying to come back from IR. And then finally, Cole Holcomb, also with an illness, is DNP on Friday. So some illnesses going around. And no, it's not my fault. That's not how it works. There are a lot of germs that go around in the NFL locker room. That's lame, Chris. Yes, it was. Yeah. It's I told you guys it was going to be very, very much a letdown. Carol says no candy for you, Chris, with that costume. I'm not looking for candy. And the candy that I'll get is the making sure that my kids have proper moderation of candy by, whatever they get, I'll make sure that they don't get all of it, because it's too much for their teeth and not good for their bodies. And so the candy that then gets, maybe we'll call it the parent tax, that'll be the candy that I get. Questions already about Corey Trice. Really? Yes, Corey Trice. So Mr. CJ Jr., he'll steal his kids' candy. Tell me a parent that doesn't do that on Halloween or Easter. Halloween and Easter is how parents get their candy. That's why you have kids. It's called the parent tax. Anyway, Corey Trice is listen. He's been fighting his way back from that hamstring injury. He gets, designated to return this week, and literally the next day pops up with a new knee injury, doesn't practice the next day, and is ruled out. Now, they've still got like 2.5 weeks to decide if they're going to activate him or if he's going to stay on IR for the rest of the year. But this was always the concern with Corey Trice. This is why he fell to the 7th round, just based off of the actual prospect of the player that he could become. He should have been a 4th round pick, maybe even a 3rd round pick. But he fell to the 7th because this reason. It sucks. I feel for the guy. He's a really nice guy. He works very, very hard. I can't even begin to describe how much respect he has earned on the South Side for how much he works. But man, these injuries just won't stop with him. Question here. Hey, Chris, are they spreading Ramsey too thin? I don't know if they're spreading Ramsey too thin. I just think I really think the problem, and I hate to kind of give the same answer every single time, but I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. It's the same issue with everybody. They're just asking the players to do way too much. They're asking Jalen Ramsey to be the shutdown corner. He's not that guy anymore. They're asking these guys on the outside to play man coverage with no help in the middle, no hole defender, no robber, no thief, no anything in the middle. And it's not working. And that's why we talked yesterday on the show. Like, maybe they just need to simplify things. Maybe it's that simple. But really quick, and then we'll get more into you guys' questions and stuff, after we take a break. But pretty much at this point, preparation for the Colts, who's going to be, at least who's going to be out, who's questionable. And I can pretty much bet that the players that are questionable, the team has a pretty good indication of whether they're going to be available or not. Sometimes you get some guys who are just not quite there, and, it is truly a game time decision. But at this point, with everything that's been done, with everything that's happened against the Bengals and the Packers, just find a way to get it done. Find a way to get it done. Again, if that means simplifying things on defense, then simplify things on defense. If that means you got to, maybe not deviate too much from what the offense is doing, because the offense is doing really well. 25 points a game, tied for 11th in the NFL. But if you have to alter some things just a little bit so you can try to get a little bit more oomph, go no huddle a little bit more often, just whatever it is to score more, however it's got to be done, just get it done. It's got to get done. You got to find a way to stop the bleeding. And it's a tall task this week, but there's no reason that team should be going into the stadium being like, we don't stand a chance. It's the number one offense in the NFL. It's the best team in the NFL right now. Yeah. Can't do that. Can't operate that way. You got to find a way, whether it's literally just simplify things so you can better execute on defense, try to at least raise the floor or at least lower the ceiling for what opposing offenses can do against you. It doesn't sound very, it doesn't sound like a well put together thought or anything. Like, oh yeah, anybody can just say, just get it done. But at a certain point, there have been moments in Mike Tomlin's time as the head coach in which he has gotten the team to just get it done. Whether that means, doing some things, the same and or changes some things up, whatever it is, there have been times in which he's gotten it done when he needs to get it done. Now, we're not talking about playoff games. I'm talking about like during the ebb and flow of a season, 2013, starting off 0-4. You got to get a win. You got to avoid 0-5. They did. They figured it out. 2022, they start off 2-6. And they have the bye week, and you have to bounce back from that bye week and get a win. No matter what, you have to get it done. They got it done. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. Doesn't matter what. This is that moment in this season. Because if you lose and you fall to 4-4, you're only a game ahead of the Ravens. The Ravens started the season off 1-5. And if you lose on Sunday, you're a game ahead. And with the way the Ravens schedule looks the rest of the way versus the way the Steelers schedule looks the rest of the way, then you consider that the Ravens are getting healthier and the Steelers would then be, on a 3-game losing streak and reeling for sure. You have a hard time betting good money that the Steelers are going to win the AFC North. So just get it done. Find a way to get it done. Anyway, we're going to take a break really quick. When we come back, we'll get some more of your questions and answers. We're going to be joined pretty much by you guys again. You're going to get in the co-host chair with me, and we're going to do some more Q&A. Not going to go too long today. We got, today's Halloween. Happy Halloween to everybody. I'm sure not everybody has plans. I have plans, but I'm sure other people also have plans. You have things to get to. We also have the Southside Beat coming up at 5:00 today. So I'll be on for that as well. But either way, we'll get you guys to engage in conversation just like we did yesterday. So we'll take a break and we'll get to that right after this message.
For those of you who are doing real work in construction, in a warehouse, if you're a mechanic, you want reliable, comfortable gear to help you perform well on the job. Brunt Workwear's got you. They've got waterproof boots, safety toe, soft toe, pull-on, lace-up, whatever you need. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know of any other brand doing that. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use the code DK Sports and you're good to go. After you order, they'll ask you where you heard about Brunt. Do us a favor here at DK Pittsburgh Sports and tell them it was from this show.
Hey guys, welcome back to Double Shot. I was about to say the Southside Beat. Oh man, that's some really bad habits right there. Welcome back to Double Shot of Steelers. Also the beauty of live shows. But I just want to start it over. Welcome back to Double Shot of Steelers here on DK Pittsburgh Sports. And if you don't have our app yet, just go get the app. Go get it. All the coverage is there. Jose was on the South Side today. He was dealing with all the things there. Jalen Ramsey talking, TJ Watt talking. He's getting it all taken care of. You'll get my next opponent piece, which is a full breakdown of the Indianapolis Colts later on the app. And the app is free. So all that content that I'm talking about, it's free. Just go get it. And in the meantime, you can also check out the latest odds, features, and win totals on the FanDuel Sportsbook. If you think the Steelers are going to cover the spread, or if you think the Colts are just going to absolutely shatter them into oblivion, then lock in your bet like today. Because whatever your game, the FanDuel Sportsbook delivers the latest lines, features, and specials so you can join in on all the action. Let's see. You guys bring the questions here. Let's go. Jack asks, what are the odds Duggar and Peppers are the safeties? Clark and Thornhill stink. Well, Peppers is ruled out on Sunday, so he's not playing. He has got a quadricep injury that popped up yesterday, so he's not playing. Duggar, he doesn't have an injury designation. He was on the injury report, but he doesn't have a designation, so he'll be cleared to play, but will he get a helmet? That's the big question. He only got 2 practices with the teams, so we'll see. Kevin asks, Chris, what's the best way to score on the Colts defense, and why is it throwing to Spencer Anderson? That's a good question. The best way to score on the Colts is it's not easy because they have a good run defense, but to run the ball. They got to run the ball. They got to figure out a way this is why the offense has looked better over the last 4 weeks. They've continued to run, and they've ran well. Keep that Colts offense on the sideline. Like that's the way. Now I understand, the best way to score on the Colts defense, but also that keeps using Spencer Anderson because the jumbo package. Now, Isaac Seumalo, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, he is cleared to play, no injury designation. So, but I think either way, whether Seumalo was going to play or not, that they were going to figure out a way to keep that jumbo package in play. That it was going to be somebody else going to left guard, most likely, and then Spencer Anderson being that extra offensive lineman. And when you don't have that jumbo package, Spence would then play left guard. But the good news is that Seumalo is cleared to play. So it looks like at least that they're going to be able to run their typical jumbo package. William asks, hey, Chris, will this weekend determine if they trade for a wide receiver too? I think that Omar's decision-making when it comes to whether he's going to get a receiver or not is not dependent on wins and losses. This team, no matter what happens, they could win 50 to nothing. They could lose 50 to nothing. They're still going to be in first place. When week 9 comes to an end, they're going to continue to treat themselves as a first place team, which means like you're going to continue to try to add if you believe that you have a chance of competing. Omar's been in the market for a receiver. Absolutely. And there is a misconception here, because Garrett asks, when will we see MVS against Indy? Marquez Valdez-Scantling is not on the team. He's not even on the practice squad. I even reported it earlier this week. There were reports coming out that he was going to sign with the practice squad, and literally had a source tell me that it's not this week. Like, if he's signing, it's not this week. So good indication that he's going to be coming to the team, but if he does, it's not until next week. So he's not on the team or on the practice squad. And if he were signing, it would most likely would be with the practice squad. So he will not be part of the Steelers against the Colts. Can the defense give our offense more possessions? You sure would like to. But I think for the offense, what you'd like to see is sustaining more drives. And I've been talking about, I think that's the one thing that's missing with this offense right now. Because when you look at it, position by position, quarterback, you're getting, quality quarterback play. Running backs have been great, especially Jaylen Warren. Receivers have been producing well. Tight ends have been great. The offensive line is improving. The red zone, my gosh, they're third best in the red zone in terms of turning trips to the red zone into touchdowns. But they don't have enough trips to the red zone. They need to sustain more drives. And if there's ever a game to get it done, it's this week. Like I said, keep that Colts offense on the sideline. Like keep them on the sideline. They got to sustain drives a little bit more often. And that includes, like, I mean, okay, think about it this way. First half against the Packers, they were running the ball efficiently. Jaylen Warren had 10 carries for 50 yards. They had, I think, over 17 minutes in time of possession. And the Packers had only scored 7 points. 7 points. They had scored 1 touchdown. Like, that's what you want. Like, you're keeping Jordan Love and the offense on the sideline. They're not having a lot of opportunities. And Cody says, they stopped running. I agree. First down, like their first 3 series coming out of the second half, or like to start the second half, they ran the ball 1 time. Once. And it produced 1 field goal. I don't understand. Man. Yeah, that's the problem. Hey, Chris, the Steelers either played too much zone a couple of years ago or too much man-to-man this year. Why can't we find a happy medium? Because teams, I think the way, and this is not just a Steelers thing, so don't think that this is just a Tomlin or Terry Lawson thing. Usually when it comes to defensive minds that have very strong opinions on how defense is going to be played, they tend to go to one extreme or the other. Brian Flores, for example, in Minnesota, who gets a lot of praise for being a really good defensive coordinator. They blitz like crazy. They play very, very, very aggressive. And he wants to be aggressive. He wants people to know that when you're playing the Minnesota Vikings defense, you're going to be playing an aggressive group. And that usually comes with extreme decisions in man versus zone, blitz versus non-blitzing, single high versus 2 high, whatever it is. That's probably why you don't see like a happy medium. I'd like to probably see a little bit more balance, the whole, everything in moderation tactic. But at this point, with the way that this version of the defense is going, go back to playing spot drop cover 3 all the time. It's boring. It's vanilla. But man, they were 8th in scoring defense last year doing it. Like, I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but right now you got to stop the bleeding. And that might be the tourniquet right now. I'm not saying that I'm a proponent of that kind of defense, but at this point, you got to do anything you can to stop the bleeding. Again, just get it done. Chris, the first down play calling in the second half wasn't good at all. It's sustained drives. You got to keep running tight end play. If not, the Colts will have a field day. I mean, I agree. I mean, again, first series, first play, they did play action. Nobody got open. Aaron had to throw it away. Second down, second down, you could do. Let's see. They did the really short pass to Pat Freiermuth, gained 2 yards. Now you're in 3rd and 8. Like, didn't work. Then there was the free play that wasn't. Yeah. Oh, love this question here because it comes up all the time. Paul asks, in your opinion, first off, it's not going to be my opinion. It's going to be fact. Does Coach T micromanage the defensive play calling, or does T able to do what he wants? Okay. Everybody get ready to hit screen record so that you can have this for your information, your knowledge, whatever, just so you can have it and always be able to refer to it. You ready? All right. Terrell Austin is the primary play caller on defense on game days. The vast majority of the time, when you see Patrick Queen listening in his helmet to the play, that is Terrell Austin's voice telling him the play. And Terrell Austin is looking at his play sheet, and he is the one calling the play, calling the coverage, whatever it is. Every now and then, Mike Tomlin will override and say, we got to play this coverage on this down, whatever it is. Happens every now and then. He is not the only head coach in the league to do that. A lot of head coaches, some head coaches are actually the play caller, like Sean McVay, the offensive play caller for the Rams. Kyle Shanahan, the offensive play caller for the 49ers. Some head coaches are the primary play caller for whatever side of the ball they want to call plays on. But for even the defensive guys who defensive head coaches, every now and then they will override and say they might not give a specific play, but they may tell the defensive coordinator, you need a blitz. Whatever you're going to call blitz, call our best blitz against whatever personnel grouping they're going to have or whatever. So that is it. Terrell Austin is the play caller. Every now and then, Mike Tomlin will interject and override, as any head coach will. Period. That's it. Everybody have that? Cool. I really didn't mean that as some sort of snarky response for Lyle, but this comes up all the time because the narrative is out there that Mike Tomlin rules with an iron fist when it comes to the defense. He's the play caller. He's the guy who designs everything. No, Terrell Austin is very, very involved in a lot of ways in the game planning, in being the primary play caller. Terrell Austin is very, very involved, very, very much so in what happens with that defense. Lyle that says, Chris, show them your chalk talk to fix this defense. Listen, I first off, I do want to say this because, and I appreciate all the compliments that come with the chalk talks and everything. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. But everything that I do when it comes to chalk talk is reactionary. It takes an entirely different mind, an entirely different set of skills to game plan for an opponent and to get the play sheet ready, to get your team ready, to execute that game plan throughout practice, and then to call it on Sundays. It's a completely different situation. And so I could go into the meeting room and I could say, listen, this is what I saw against the Packers. And I don't agree with what you're doing here, here, or here. Then they might turn around. Okay, well, how do we attack the Colts now? And I can tell you right now that what Terrell Austin can put together, what Mike Tomlin can put together, it's not even close. Like I don't hold a candle to that. It's just, so I appreciate it. I do. I can react to, and I can break down like everything's already happened in the past. I know the game enough to be able to do that. But, and I'm glad Justin says this, and I know Justin knows ball. Justin says as a former college coach, he's 100% right. It's a completely different ball game when you talk about game planning. I actually thought about, like, if I ever did something else, like would I like to be like a high school coach or something like that? I'm like, I don't even know if I'd want to do that. Like, I love football, and I love to be able to coach kids, but I'm trying to think about, man, putting an offensive play sheet together, putting together an offensive playbook, and trying to make it detailed enough so that the plays have good details, but not too detailed because they're high school kids. And they're not going to understand NFL plays, blah, blah. You see the slippery slope that I'm going down here. Like, it's just, oh, man. Question, whatever happened to that kid Castro who was on the practice squad? We can use him now. He is on the Buccaneers practice squad now. I want to say the Buccaneers picked him up. And then, ironically enough, the Steelers picked up a safety from their practice squad. So it was kind of like a swap, like a practice squad swap, like an unofficial trade, but it wasn't really a trade. It's like one team sniped one player, so the team answered back and sniped another guy. James asks, they have the league's best offensive line. Do you blitz a lot or no? I've been saying this. No, do not blitz. They need to stop blitzing so much. I'm not saying like never blitz at all, but they're third in the league right now in blitz rate. It's too much. And a lot of the time they're leaving their coverage guys on islands. They're getting beat that way. Quarterbacks are able to get the ball out quickly, even in the face of a blitz. No, they need to. And I'm not saying like just because they have a really great offensive line, and they do, that's the reason why you don't blitz. But my gosh, like they're blitzing too much as it is. Doesn't matter who they're playing. They need, like I said, it sounds boring, but go back to playing 4-man rush with, Tampa 2 here, cover 3 there. Gosh. Chris, how quick is Danny Dimes getting the ball out? Will our edge rushers have some time to create pressure? Well, I can actually look that up really quick. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can look it up with my trusty computer here. pro.nfl.com. It's a great tool, by the way, if you don't have it. There are several tools that you can use. This is actually a pretty good time. So I subscribe to Pro Football Focus, and no, not for their grades. They have a lot of good stats, objective stats that you can use. I subscribe to fantasypoints.com. I actually like to use them a lot. They have a lot of really, really, really great data. And then pro.nfl, which comes with NFL Plus. That is another really, really good one too. So average time to throw. Let's see. Tua Tagovailoa has the fastest time to throw in the league. Aaron Rodgers is third at 2.67 seconds. Let's find Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones is 16th in the NFL with a 2.77 average time to throw. So, and that is 16th of how many qualified passers? 34. So he's pretty much right in the middle. So it's not like so fast, like when if the Steelers ever face Patrick Mahomes, like he's just going to get rid of the ball and just catch and throw. So yeah, there's that. Chris, how good is the Colts' third down defense? Man, you're going to get my computer out again. How key is that to the Steelers' overall success? Well, actually, I don't have to get my computer out. My next opponent preview, I already have third down efficiency in there for both sides of the ball. That will be, it's not on the app yet. It's almost done, but that will be up. But their third down efficiency on defense is actually quite poor. They rank 30th in the NFL in third down efficiency on defense. So they, yeah. That could be really, really key. We're talking about sustaining drives on here. That could be a really, really key. That's a good thing to point out there, Dwight. Good job. Justin, how do they justify continuing calling man free? They have like a negative 20 EPA on that one concept. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. I don't understand how they can look at the Seahawks tape alone had so much man coverage with no hold defender where I was just like, that can't happen again. Like, it just can't. Like, you cannot, like, for me, like, I don't understand. Like, if I were the coach and I'm running cover one and it's man free, which means it's, I'm not going to try to get too in the weeds. It's man coverage underneath, and then it's one deep defender, and then everybody else is blitzing. So you make sure there's a man on each eligible, And if any eligible stays into to pass protect, you then bring them on a blitz. Looking at what happened in the Seahawks game and how often they got beat to the inside. Yeah, and Justin said it, like outside leverage, no inside help. Like, yeah, word that I won't say on here so we don't get demonetized. Exactly. Like, you're going to play, like the corner's been playing outside leverage as if like they have help to the inside, but there's no help to the inside. It doesn't make sense at all. DK, not only is your Chris costume great, but your voice impression is spot on too. That's actually really good. Also, like, and Dolly might be able to answer this a little bit better. When's the last time DK was even in Westmoreland County? Oh no, it would have been for training camp. Duh. It would have been training camp.
When he picked you up for something, probably.
Oh yeah, or that too. Yeah. Like probably when we went to New Jersey, actually, is probably the last time. So like the fact that he'd be out in Westmoreland County, he's on his way to Winnipeg, which is like his favorite place in the world, like outside of Pittsburgh. Like he would like Westmoreland County. He's happy to be in Winnipeg. Chris, could you make a members only YouTube video on navigating the DK app? Seems cumbersome. We could try to figure something out when it comes to helping people navigate the app, because the app is actually pretty easy to navigate. At least it has been for me. Like even like starting off, like because all of the team feeds are just like you click on the Steelers feed, and it's literally just like it's like a social media feed. Like you just scroll and you'll see, blue entries, which are like articles or like news. You'll see yellow entries, which are like the same as like tweets and stuff. You'll see all of our media entries and everything. And you'll scroll through that feed just like you're on Twitter. And then you can click on comments and but you have to be a subscriber, and you can email DK to be a subscriber in order to look at the comments and to comment yourself if you want to. Like I have live queues on the site today and a lot of questions, by the way, today. And those people, like you can take part in that if you're a member. If you're not, you still get the app, you still get all the content, but interaction is, yeah. This is a good question. Behind the scenes a little bit. Do you and DK have good road trips? No, we hate it. We hate each other. No, I'm kidding. No, we have good road trips. We usually take turns driving, just so that neither one of us get too tired. Obviously, like the really short ones, like Cleveland, it's it's a couple hours. It's not bad, but like we're going to Cincinnati, it's you're pushing 5 hours. You're going to Indy, something like that. You're driving a little further. We'll take turns, make sure that neither one gets tired or anything. So we have a lot of conversations. We usually talk a good amount of football, a good amount of hockey. We talk about the company. We talk about a number of different things. They're fun. They're fun rides. Let's see. A couple more. Here's that email, by the way. If you want to become a member on our app, that is the email that you need and literally all you need to put is just app in the subject. Like he has literally gotten those emails. He's actually showed them to me. Like I remember we were sitting on a plane going to one of the preseason games, and he just showed his phone to me, and it's like, this is the email that I got. It just says app in the subject line. There was nothing in the body of the email. Is the boss going to say something?
I can do whatever I want. That's what I want to say. He says, I didn't think you could talk without a box. Remember, I'm the boss. I can make anything happen.
We were advocating for the boss to be in a box yesterday, and she just won't, like, she immediately shut that down. But she can talk without a box.
Sure, I can heckle you guys from anywhere.
And we finally got it. We got the boss of the mic. There we go. All right, let's get one more question in, and then we'll wish everybody happy Halloween, and then we'll get going. I like this one. Kevin asks, love the show, Chris. If Broad continues improving on his current trajectory, would you pick up his fifth-year option? And that's what this season has been all about for Broderick Jones. It's a very, very important year for him. Very, very important year. Because, like, literally, they have to make that decision. And it's not a cheap decision. Like, that's an expensive decision. I would think if he continues to improve and he continues to take steps and he has, like, that was a great performance against Micah Parsons. That's not some scrub that he had a good performance against. That was Micah Parsons, like, phenomenal football player. If he continues to have these type of games, the next time he plays Myles Garrett, does he do better? Whenever he faces, if he faces Trey Hendrickson the next time the Steelers play the Bengals, how does he do there? Things like this. When you face these really great edge rushers, when you face really good defensive fronts, if he continues to go on that, I definitely entertain it. Because if there's one thing that this team needs, it's building a foundation with these draft picks. And that 23 class I know Joey Porter Jr. is not high on everybody's list right now, and that's fine. But totality of performance, when you consider Joey Porter Jr., we consider Darnell Washington, you consider Nick Herbig, and who Keanu Benton still kind of can be. But even then, when you look at what Spencer Anderson has now become this season, being this weapon in the jumbo package and being able to fill in at left guard and play, solid football as a reserve, as a 7th round pick, when you consider that, and then if you get the 1st round pick to turn into a legitimate left tackle, that's a win for the 23 draft class. So you'd like to see that. You'd like to see this play out where that class turns into a number of actual contributors. I'm not quite there on Broad. It's been a nice stretch of games for him so far, but we're 7 games into the season. We've got 10 more to go. Let's see. Let's revisit this in another month. And then after that, let's revisit it again in another month. There's still a long way to go. Still a lot of football left to be played, but this current trajectory is certainly promising for Broderick Jones. Kevin says, thanks. Great show as always. And David says, happy Halloween. I will also say happy Halloween on behalf of the boss, unless the boss wants to really come in and just come in with this voice and say happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
She does have powers. The boss has powers. But on behalf of DK, who is on his way to Winnipeg, happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. 5 o'clock, top of the hour, Southside Beat with me and Matt Williamson. Guys, tune in for that as well. Until next time on Monday, when it'll be me and DK again reacting to this game against the Colts. We'll catch you guys on that flippity flip. We will see you later.
Leave some candy for the kids.
Yeah, I will. I won't take it all.
Bye.